Hey Alexis Love Beauties and Flawless Man, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about erectile dysfunction. Disclaimer, we are not here to make fun of men, women. If you have had a man that experienced this, we're not here to make fun of men or take this information and use it to be immature. This is a real life dysfunction that our men are experiencing 20, 30 years way before they're supposed to experience this thing. So this may end up being like a 4-part series so we can get out all of the information. As always, I encourage you to do your extended research, but I want whoever watched this video to go into this with an open mind and be wise that this is a real life thing. It's not just about a man not being able to get up and stay up or pleasing a woman. This goes way beyond what we think it may be. So after all of the conversations, and I have some, male friends that has experienced this, I was like, hey, let me do my extended research and bring that information to them. There's going to be some reading. We already know we love to read. So we're going to be reading from this book. And I got this book from my granary, my Whole Food store. Now, this book is not meant to actually diagnose you and say, hey, this is what you have, this is what you need. This book is like a guide to tell you about different things that is going on. And it's on you to do your extended research to see if this is something that you actually have. And then in here, they give, different like tips and things that you can do to heal whatever issue it is that you may have. So we're going to go right here. And the first thing we're going to do is go over some definitions that is going to be important later on in our conversation, especially when we begin to conclude everything that we learn. Brain stimuli. We're going to hear that word. Brain stimuli is deep brain stimulation, also known as DBS. It's a surgical procedure that uses electricity to directly stimulate the sites in the brain that normally functions by sending and receiving the electrical signals between the nerves, stimulating specific regions of the brain with low levels of electricity might improve focus or memory, mood, or dementia. So DBS is a surgical procedure that, if you need that, then you'll get the surgical procedure. And what it does is it allows the different electromagnetic waves in your brain to work together and send information to the nerves. Our body communicates with each other. So that's what brain stimuli means. Then we're going to define blood vessels. Blood vessels are a network of tubes through which the blood is pumped around the body. So throughout our entire body, if you look at a photo of it, which I encourage you to do, you're going to see like a whole bunch of a whole bunch of tiny lines, but those are our blood vessels, and those are really important because those pump blood throughout our body. Nerve function. Nerves send information through the body via electrical chemicals. So our nerves send energy throughout the body. Then we have hormones. Hormones is a chemical substance that act like a messenger to move molecules in the body. So our hormones, those communicate also. Those are the messengers that moves the molecules throughout our body. Then we have, which I was impressed to learn about, I actually learned about that reading here, menopause in men. Menopause in men is a decrease in testosterone, which means a decrease in sperm count. And to define this, testosterone is a primary sexual male hormone, and it's a chemical that communicates also with the brain as well. So those are our words that we have to define. Now we can get into the reading. So some of the words that we just defined, we're going to hear here as well. But we know that in conclusion, our brains, or a man's brain in this conversation, it sends communication. So the different parts of the body sends off communication, so the body can know, hey, this is what we need here, this needs to move around, we need to send information to this other part of the body because this is not working. And that's really what's going on, but we'll conclude that later on. So to define erectile dysfunction or chronic erectile dysfunction is no longer a taboo subject. It is estimated that 30 million American men suffer from ED. For a great majority of them, the problem is solvable. A man is considered to have erectile dysfunction if he does not have the ability to achieve or maintain an erection adequate for normal sexual activity. Erections result from a complex combination of brain stimuli, blood vessels, and nerve function, and hormonal actions. Anything that interferes with any of these can lead to erectile dysfunction. And that includes, now I'm gonna spell this word out for you. I'm gonna try to say it too, because we're learning. So I want to say this is arteriosclerosis. It's arteriosclerosis. And I will leave some like the big words down below so you can do your extended research as well on that. It's a metabolic syndrome and peripheral vascular disease. The use of certain medications listed later in this section: alcohol or cigarettes, a history of sexually transmitted disease, and chronic illness such as diabetes and high blood pressure. Let's start right there and evaluate what we just read. So erectile dysfunction is a mix of, thank you Jesus, the brain stimuli, the blood vessels, the nerve function, all of these different parts of the body, the hormones. When these are affected due to not getting circulation or a lack of nutrition, then these are some things that can cause erectile dysfunction, but it is solvable in most men. 30 million men in America has been diagnosed with either regular, mild, or severe chronic erectile dysfunction. So erectile dysfunction is extremely common in men who have diabetes. Men who have diabetes are 2 to 3 times more likely to have erectile dysfunction than men who do not have diabetes. Hormonal imbalances such as low levels of thyroid hormone may also contribute to the problem. Low levels of the hormone testosterone are rarely the cause of ED. Lack of a desire may be the problem. If the desire is not there in the first place, it is difficult to either get or maintain an erection. A loss of libido, which is a sexual desire, may be caused by depression, illness, or medications, and a wanting attraction to one's partner. Because this was very interesting to me. They're saying that erectile dysfunction are common in men who have diabetes, and it's different from a man that don't have diabetes. It just might be that they're not really attracted like that to actually keep it going. But if you have an underlying health issue, then that can be why you have erectile dysfunction. But if you don't have any severe underlying health issues, then it could just be that brain stimuli. Your brain is not stimulated enough to be with that woman. So you might just want it to be with her just because, but it's not really stimulating your brain to want to last. So ED may be chronic or reoccurring, or it may occur as a single isolated incident. 1 or 2 occurrences, however, are rarely thought as erectile dysfunction. Although they may be upsetting at the time, most of men who have this problem are age 40 or over. 1 in 3 men over 60 is affected. Let's stop right there. And men 40 or older, like 60. This is wild that men in their 20s, men in their teens are experiencing erectile dysfunction. That is not good. Where like the men are living 20 to 50 years, their bodies are living 20 to 50 years ahead of them. It's something that you shouldn't be experiencing as a young man. We have to get to the bottom of this. So let me bring that back. So most of the men who have the problem are age 40 or over. 1 in 3 men are over 60 is affected. So it's not even all of the older men that's affected. But those under 40 may also have the problem. Still starting at the age of 40, like having that, going through that at the age of 20 it's not okay. In the past, it was assumed that erectile dysfunction was primarily a psychological problem, but many therapists and physicians today believe that as 85% of all causes of ED have some physical bias. So it doesn't have to be that you necessarily have an underlying serious health issue. It could be the way that you're living your lifestyle, which we're going to get into later on as well. There are many drugs that can cause erectile dysfunction as a side effect. Some of the most common are alcohol, antidepressants. Here we have another. We have antihistamines. Oh, I said it. We have antihistamines, and I'm going to spell that as ANTIHISTAMINES. We have another one. It says antihypertensiveness. So it's ANTIHYPERTENSIVE, and I'm going to leave those down below as well. That's something that I like to do. We do that in general. Blood pressure medication, cancer, chemotherapy, diuretics, narcotics, nicotine, sedatives, steroids if abused, stomach acid inhibitors, and ulcer medications. And then it says, this is a testosterone. It's ATHEROSCLEROSIS, or hardening of the arteries. And that's one type of that word that we just said as well. Which is a hardening of the arteries. That is crazy. It poses a risk to the condition of both the heart and the penis. Erectile dysfunction can in fact be a symptom of this disorder. Let me back up right there. They're saying that primary physicians and therapists thought that it was just bias at first, but now they're learning that it is not just psychological, it is also physical. So if 85% of all of the cases have some physical bias, which means that there's not, enough movement, exercising, taking care of the body in general. And they're saying that erectile dysfunction can also come from different things like high blood pressure, drugs, antidepressant, narcotics, and then also we can come from a hardening of the arteries and the heart. That is major. That is major. If you're experiencing that, then we need you to go get checked out to make sure that this is not serious. The body communicates with itself. And when something is going on, it doesn't matter how small it is. It can be acne. When something is going on, that is a sign that something in the body is not doing that well. Acne is not just your skin is breaking out because you have oily skin. When we go more into acne, we learn that acne is due to an immune problem. It's due to a lack of nutrition, a lack of vitamins. So we have to go further into this. Arteries and hearts is crazy. Let me run that back again. They said that these different things poses a risk to the condition of both the heart and the penis. So going through, depression or doing any type of drugs can affect the heart and the penis. Most people today know smoking and eating fatty foods lead to the production of plaque that clog the arteries and block the flow of blood to the heart. Smoking and eating processed food, fake food, will actually block the blood flow in your body. It blocks the blood vessels. It blocks that. And that's why the blood is not getting sent down to the penis. They said these plaques can also block the arteries leading to the genitals, interfering with the ability to obtain an erection. The following nutrient doses are for adult males. Let's back up. In conclusion, erectile dysfunction can be found in men can be found in man 40, 50, 60, is usually found in man older. And what happens is it could be due to a serious illness like depression, anxiety. And we know when we go through those things, there is things that are going down in our brains, because we should not be feeling like that. Anytime we do any type of substance or we're going through something mentally, that affects our brain stimuli. Our brain sends the signal to the rest of the body to let the body know, hey, before we do anything sexual, it starts in the mind. You have to have some type of attraction for you to even be with this person. But it's a possibility that it may not be a severe illness like diabetes or depression, and it could just be the physical aspect of a man not getting the nutrition he need, not doing the exercises he need, not just taking care of himself as a whole. So erectile dysfunction can affect men in general. Now, it could just simply be that a man is not stimulated enough by his partner. He's not really attracted to her. What I believe men do is they won't be, some of them, they don't necessarily have to like you, necessarily have to be attracted to you to even want to do something with you. So if he is not that comfortable with you, and if he doesn't like a woman like that, his brain is not stimulated enough to even last that long. Now, some men, we're going to get into it here because this is what we're talking about. Let's talk about masturbation and porn. That is a major thing. When men are masturbating very often, little did we know that decreases libido as well. That decreases the sex drive. And also that decreases the sperm count. For men, it seems like men decrease more than women. So a man would probably lose interest versus a woman, like being older, maybe the woman is still able to do certain things, but women have their own problems as well. But it seems like men decrease very quickly. So masturbation is not something you can do all the time or at all. We don't even push that in general. Let's just find your wife, right? And then when we're talking about porn, it gives you a unrealistic expectation, right? So now you have this expectation, and it makes you not desirable. It makes a woman not even desirable because it's unrealistic. So you're with a woman that's classy, she ain't really about to be doing no porn star type of stuff, but that's what you're into because your mind, you have trained your mind. Come on, Jesus. When we watch porn, we train our minds to be stimulated by that. So we lose the real affection in what it's supposed to be. And then now we're expecting somebody to do all of those things. And when they don't, then it's lame, it's whack, it's boring. That's an illusion. That's a false illusion. So those are some other things that I believe actually decreases that stimuli as well. Again, if a man just don't like you, he just don't like you. But if he like you and he's experiencing that, but on top of that, he masturbates a lot, there's a lot of porn going on, there's a lot of unrealistic expectations. Then I say that because he might not even talk to you about it. Like, you don't even know if she would like to do that or not, but you're just not interested in getting that far. That can be another reason to why, you're doing something just because maybe you ain't really get play like that in high school. Now, I'm being real here. Some men haven't experienced a woman for real, or getting the attention or the affection from a woman. So that's where they turn to a lot of the porn, a lot of masturbation stuff. Men, do not lose your hope. Don't lose hope in finding a good woman or wanting a good woman. We have to basically just save ourselves until we get to that level. If you want to, everybody not trying to save themselves. Everybody don't want to get married, but sex is a major problem. It causes a lot of problems. STDs, it causes health problems. It causes overgrowth of yeast and infections. It just has a lot going on. And now we're learning that let's see. Okay. The genitals is made up of solids and liquids, right? So it's made up of body tissue, muscle, and blood vessels. So when your blood vessels are weak, right? You could be dehydrated. Maybe you have a decrease in red and white blood cells, and maybe you're anemic, low iron. So those are some things health-wise that could cause those problems. When that blood is not right, when your blood is not getting the nutrition that it needs, we have to feed our major organs in our body for it to operate properly for us to be considered healthy. But when your blood is not right and your tissue is damaged, then that can cause erectile dysfunction as well, because your brain is not sending blood down there to say, hey, we need to do our thing. In conclusion, it's just a really touchy subject, and like I said, I've experienced it, you know, with people, but I'm really trying to thread light with the examples here, y'all. That's why I kind of got stuck, but it's not okay. It's just not okay. And it could be just because you don't like someone, or, you know, maybe you feel like, okay, finally a girl wants to talk to me, so, you know, let me go ahead and do this. But stimulation, it starts with the brain stimulation first. And that comes from an interest that you want to have. You want to be around a woman that's intelligent, right? The brain stimuli that usually we look for is the porn stuff, but it has to be more than that. And some men have to learn that they are valuable as well. This self-love, this being valuable, this being high value is not just terms for a woman. It's not just a feminine word. This is for our man as well. So you have to know that you are valuable as well. And then a lot of the times, like I said, it might be like, oh, you're not getting that attention from the girl that you want, or different things like that. Figure out what it is that you actually want in a woman first, because having these problems, first of all, like I said, if it's a woman watching this video, just cut it out. Cut it out about the sizes, and cut it out about the different things that you may have experienced, you know, with the man. Don't talk about them, because you got your own problems. And the Lord created the man just how he wanted him to be. So he's perfect. And that brings me to the next thing. Men, it is okay with whatever that you have. And if we keep these things to ourselves, if we keep our body to ourselves, we never have to worry about that embarrassment. Let's be real. That is embarrassing for a man to not be able to provide that intimacy for a woman. And I'm going to be real with y'all. There is women that when sex is all that they think about, because that's the only thing that stimulates a woman's mind, some of them women, when you're not able to provide that, and you love her, you got your heart all in it, different things like that, but you're not able to provide for her sexually, then that is when women cheat. That is why women feel like they need the toys. Now, I'm going to talk to them in a later video, because that is an unrealistic expectation as well, and that messes us up as well. But we'll get into that with them later on. But it's kind of an embarrassing topic. But I made this video because I don't want you to be embarrassed. I want you to take care of your health. If you have been experiencing that, I need you to go to the doctor immediately. And if you do have an underlying issue like diabetes, depression, you're suffering with abandonment, this is where you have to go and get that healing that you need. It's okay. It's okay to go to the doctor. It's okay to talk to a therapist. It's okay to abstain from sex. That is what's going to save you. It's like a fast from sex. I encourage you to abstain from porn and sex. Give yourself 2 months. 2 months for beginners, and see how your body begins to work. This is just a touchy subject, y'all. So I'm sorry if I'm like having pause breaks and different things like that. Y'all know I really don't be like that, but I'm just trying to really talk about it from a place of compassion. It's okay. It's okay. Like, you don't have to share that with someone. If you're experiencing that, then you have to stop. If you have a woman, you need to tell that to her. You have to communicate that with her so she can know what is going on. When a woman really loves a man, she's not about to leave him because he got a little problem going on. I said when a woman really loves a man, She's not about to leave him because he has a little problem going on. She's going to help him to get through that problem, because that's what she's there for. She's the help meant for him. So she's going to help him if he's willing. You have to be willing. Now, this is a tough video, but we still posting it, no edits. Let me look over my notes because the last thing you want to do is wait till the last minute. The last thing you want to do is get to the point where you want to have children, but you don't have enough sperm cells. The last thing you want to do is continue in a bad diet, continue the bad habits, and not get the help that you need. And then it messes with your heart. Our major organs, I believe, is our brain, our heart, our lungs, our kidneys, our genitals, our immune, and the skin is the largest organ as well. We have to take care of that. We have to take care of that. So I just want y'all to go to the doctor. I'm never telling, it don't matter what we learn, what we see, the health thing, you know, like the healthy things that we get involved in, we still need to go to the doctor. I ain't not telling y'all nothing I ain't doing. Go to the doctor so you can have that file, so you can know that going to the doctor gives you a head start, so you can know exactly what it is that you're researching, what you're looking into. So I don't want our video to cut off. Let's get into, so we went over our definitions. And ladies, let me say this too, just in case y'all watching. Pray for our men, just period. It's not funny. Everybody was created the way the Lord wanted them to be created. And men, that goes for you as well. Be comfortable and confident in what you have. If you don't really like it like that, if you feel like you want to be, you know, bigger or better or whatever, then that starts with your health. There's a lot of foods and different things that you could take that will help you grow that if you want to. But if there is a man, I'm just say this, I apologize on behalf of all the women that have ever, you know, disrespected a man or talked about a man down there. This in general, I apologize on their behalf, because it may not be an apology that you may get, or it may not be something that a woman ever tells you like, hey, I think this is a problem. So I apologize on their behalf, because I know how women get. I know how women get. They're her like, girl, he got to be 13 or 16. And it's just like, we're not really here to talk about what somebody's desire is or whatever. It's just simply, don't talk about people. Pray for them. Just pray for them in general. So let's get into, yeah, let's start right here since we were just talking about that. So this is something that I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking that the bigger you are, the more nutrition that you would even need, because you're going to need 10 times the blood supply to even get down there. You're going to need 10 times the supply to even stay up like that. So the bigger you are, the more nutrition that you need, the more you need to love yourself to actually be desirable in general. And then, you know, not smaller, but just how you are is perfect, right? And depending on that size, it's going to depend on if you need more nutrition or if a stable amount of nutrition would be okay for you. So if you're bigger, then you would need more nutrition to get that blood and things going down there. But before we just start talking about having sex with everybody, let's get the brain stimuli on a different level. Not just because, man, she bad, you feel me, big butt, and that turned me on up here. No, more brain stimuli, like, okay, she's educated. That is what's going to help you last longer, because that woman is going to be able to activate those chemicals. She's going to be able to activate those electrical waves that's going on in your brain. Because when we have sex, that releases cortisol. It releases different things in our brain. And we'll come back with some words because I'm still learning about that. But it releases like happy things. Sex is not supposed to just be what we think it is. That's another thing that I think could be a problem as well. Just, I was going to say the F word. Basically, you all know what it is. Just basically effing somebody. That could be a problem as well. It's just the unrealistic expectation that is causing major health problems, and it's not okay. So let's go over just some simple nutrition, and I had written them down from our book here, but we're going to go ahead and go over. Actually, let's start with the book first. So they said that, and like I said, I encourage you to still do your extended research. I only marked a few things here. They said recommendations: eat a healthy diet, well balanced. Excuse me, y'all. Include in the diet pumpkin seeds, bee pollen, and royal jelly. Pumpkin seeds are great for men in general. I hear the benefits of pumpkin seeds is like, because we have different pHs in our bodies. We have different systems in our body. And I have heard that pumpkin seeds is really good for actually growing the man if they want that. Bee pollen is good. Royal jelly is good. They said avoid alcohol, particularly before sexual intercourse. I know how some people feel like, man, I'm finna turn up before I do that. That's that brain. Come on, Jesus. That's that brain stimuli. If you feel like you have to be drunk or high, then your brain is not really interested like that for real, and you're feeling like that because you feel like these are the things that's going to keep you going. We should be able to be intimate, sober-minded. We can't do that because we're not getting stimulated enough in our mental. They said avoid those things like smoking, drinking. Now over here it said take into consideration that a study was done at the Boston University School of Medicine linked the overall health to erectile dysfunction. Researchers studied that the medical histories of 1,300 men aged 40 to 70 years old. They found some men that had ED was a total of 52% in those studies. Men who were being treated for heart disease, high blood pressures, or diabetes were on the end, and 1/2 to 4 times are likely than the overall group to be completely impotent later in life. The situation was even worse for men with heart disease, hypertension, who also smoked. Again, smoking, diabetes, being depressed. They did a study in Boston on 1,300 men from the ages of 40 to 60. That's the crazy part. The tests that haven't been done thus far that I know of men in their 20s, so it should not be happening that young. And they said that what they found in these men was that 52% of them were likely to not be able to keep going in life at all when they're older. Man, it is so important to figure out your type, to figure out what it is that you love in a woman, what you like, and all of those different things. Get that information from God, because we're young and we feel like, man, I can keep going because it's gonna be all this for the rest of my life. It is not. So when we put sex to the side, what else can I love about a person that's going to go forever? When different body parts start working, when we old and the surgery ain't holding us up no more, when we're older and the skin is saggy, is somebody still going to love you? So we have to be stimulated in another way. We just have to learn that. That's a personal decision if you want that, because some people feel like they don't want love, they don't want a relationship, they want to just have sex forever and ever. But when we doing that and we seeing that stuff is not working, then we have to stop and say, it's not getting what it's supposed to get. Some men turn to inflatable penile implants to mechanically create erections. Penile implants are surgically installed devices that are made from silicone or polyurethane. One type is made of 2 semi-rigid but bendable rods, and another type consists of a pump, a fluid-filled reservoir, and 2 cylinders into which the fluid is pumped to create an erection. With the development of more effective agents, implants are now considered to be the last resort, to be tied only when all other methods have failed. It's a confidence thing. So if you don't really like her like that, if she's not really stimulating your mind on another level, but first you have to be stimulated on another level as well, or it's not going to work. But if she's not really stimulating your mind like that on another level, then it's not going to work. And when you lose that confidence in your genital area, you'll be like, man, I need surgery. I just seen a dude on Facebook talking about he got surgery on his knees because he wasn't tall enough. We have to love what the Lord already gave us. That's all that we get. You can get, if you do a surgery, that causes more problems. Typically, you have to keep up with surgery. They're saying there's 3 different types of surgeries that you can get, because some men turn to that when they lose 100% of that confidence. They turn over to surgery. They be like, let me get the penile implants. With that, it can be different type of tubes, rods that go in there that, you know, turn it on and turn it off. If you do that, then your body is not working together. That's a whole nother entity that's even making that be like that. We shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to do that. We shouldn't have to think that and go that far. We should be able to naturally do those things. So if you get a surgery, now your penis is disconnected from the rest of your body, because your brain really don't have to tell that, hey, we need you to go down there. When you get that, if you get that surgery, then, you know, the cutting and different things like that, blood vessels going to be attacked, everything's going to be attacked. So we want to make sure that we're doing that naturally and healthily. But again, that's always a personal preference. They said it's another disease called Peyronie's, is Peyronie disease, and that results in a twisting of the penis when it's erect, due to the plaque or the scars blocking the membrane that contains the corpora cavernosa, the 2 long thin chambers in the penis that fill with blood to create the erection. So there is 2 long thin chambers in the penis that actually fills the penis with blood to create the erection. If you have this illness, then that is not happening. That's another reason why you may not be able to get your desired expectation. This prevents the penis from retaining its overall elasticity. When erect, the penis may look deformed or contoured. There is a handful of diseases that can happen when the blood is not circulating through the body like it needs to. And one of those diseases is a twisting of the penis when it's erect. I haven't really looked into that disease on its own. I really just learned from here. I didn't go to Google to get nothing. I learned from here. I wrote down a little bit of my thoughts, and then I just wrote that down. But I want you to research that. I'm going to leave it below in the description. And, you know, now I'm going to research this. Now it got me thinking that, you just have to tread lightly with the things that you say, because again, it's not diagnosis, this is just wisdom. But okay, this time I'm thinking, I'm gonna be real with y'all. This is what I'm thinking. When they said that it's a disease that can twist the penis when it's erect, it makes me wonder if it's literally like twisted, or could that be what we call a curve in the penis? I don't know, y'all. This is a hard topic, but it needs to be had. And I'm so blessed that we're here today so you can do your extended research. But I wonder if that's what it is. If it's, you know, how we'd be like, oh, he got a curve, da, 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 da. Well, you know how they be. Oh, he got a curve, da, 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 da. I wonder if that could be an illness. But I want you to look into that as well, because it could just be natural. You know, like I said, the Lord created people how he wanted them created and said it was perfect. But look into that. Please look into that. That's what I just kind of thought when I read that again. Then we talk about premature ejaculation is considered a sexual dysfunction. I'm like, yo, I was reading this last night and I was like, what? They said premature ejaculation is considered as a dysfunction. Man, you should be able to enjoy what is going on. And that premature ejaculation comes from that unrealistic expectation that you have not even talked about with your partner to see if she want to do that. Coming from porn, masturbation, all of those things make the body work quicker when you actually come in contact with the woman. You should be able to be stimulated and last. So premature ejaculation is another type of dysfunction. And a lot of the time, and that's powerful. People get pregnant off of premature ejaculation as well. It's not the same thing as ED, but it can diminish the qualities of one's sex life. Premature ejaculation Reaching orgasm too quickly to satisfy one partner is thought to be a learned trait. This is something that you learn. Thank you, Lord. This is something that you learn. This is something that you've created based on what you've been doing. Maybe too much sex, maybe too much porn, maybe too much masturbation. It's a learned trait to prematurely ejaculate. Acquired through the habit of masturbation and immediate gratification. You want to rush. There's no rush. You know, some men don't even know how to foreplay. They don't even know how to be intimate, affection. Don't nobody be wanting to kiss. Nobody, you know, we're not really here for that. That's why I said I'm really threading lightly with the conversation. If I was talking to like a friend or something, to one of my homeboys, we'd be all in. But here, for the purpose of this video, we're trying to keep it professional as we can and not give any like, oh, this is what you should be doing. We're not doing that. So I'm trying to keep that light. But they said that this is a learned trait through masturbation and you wanting to, you know, if you're a man that haven't had that woman's attention, so it's like that desire, and you finally get it, it's like, oh, it's that excitement that the brain creates. The brain creates that excitement, but that leads to you not being satisfied, the woman not being satisfied. It takes more for a woman than it does probably for a man, but it's a learned trait. So why you are prematurely ejaculating, and it says that this can be unlearned through counseling. This is not what the Lord say. I don't remember what Bible it was from, what testimony it was from, but I've heard a lot, and I pray that the Lord give me the book, but I've heard that the Lord said this is not unto death. I want to say it was Matthew. He said this is not unto death. This is a solvable problem. Like, you don't always have to experience this, but you have to want to get help for yourself. You want to have to get help. This is not something that the woman should want for you more than you want it for yourself. You have to sit with yourself and be like, man, like my body is not, it's something that you will have to be interested in wanting to do. Get some counseling, get some therapy, you know, do a little exercise, eat some fruits, do some things, and we'll get into that because, yes, like I said, it's men that are in their 20s, and that should not be happening. This should not be happening. Now when you get older in age, it's a natural thing, but if you're younger than 60, if you're younger than 40, it's not right. However, if premature ejaculation begins suddenly when there is no history of it before, it is probably due to the problems with the arteries and the veins that run to the penis. If this is not hereditary like diabetes, if this is not an underlying severe health problem, if this is not you just ain't really turned on by her but you want the hit, then it could be that there's a blockage of the arteries and the veins. We never want our arteries to be blocked. That causes heart attacks, cardiovascular disease, and that's not good. Strokes. It's so crazy that sex and the different things that's going on with our genitals can cause us brain problems, dementia, cardiovascular disease, diseases in our heart. That's not good. They said it's probably due to problems with the arteries and the veins that run through the penis. Plaque. The same plaque, my dentist taught me this. He said the same plaque that you had, he told me, he said you need to brush and you need to floss twice a day. I'm like, I ain't gotta really floss twice a day from flossing. Once he said you need to floss twice a day. He said it doesn't matter if you fast. And I realized that with fasting, that it doesn't even matter if you don't eat. You still get plaque in your mouth because that is what the body is pushing up. When we have plaque in our mouth, that is the plaque that's coming up out of our body. So we have to remove that. The same plaque that we have in our oral is the same plaque that we have around our heart. We do not want that plaque to start causing things to get blocked up and different things like that. We have to take care of ourselves. You know, one way you'll take care of that, because it's natural, there's nothing we can do about plaque, but the one way we'll take care of that is brushing and flossing twice a day. We have to do that. We need to do as much as we can for our bodies to be youthful for as long as possible, and understand that some of these things we have to get this wisdom from God as well. We have to include the Lord in these things as well. That way we're not fearful. We don't want to be scared of these things. But when we don't include God, when we don't do the research and we just keep going and going like, man, I'm gonna be straight, one day it's gonna happen, that's when we begin to get fear, and that's when things get worse. Consult with the Lord. Let that be your first consultant after watching this video. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, I just wanted to say thank you. I had just watched this video, and Lord, I was coming to you to do my extended research, and Lord, I just wanted to let you know that I have been experiencing erectile dysfunction, and yeah, I have been with a lot of girls over there. You gotta keep it real with the Lord. Let the Lord know what is going on with your body. Let him know what's going on with your mind. Let him know the type of woman that you are attracted to. Let him know the disrespect that you have received from a woman. Let the Lord know the embarrassment. You don't have to talk about this with Chris. You don't have to talk about this with the homeboys, because they be talking about you too. Dudes be talking about dudes, because I heard it. Man, bro got a small dudes be talking about dudes, because I've heard it before. Consult with the Lord. And you can tell him all of your secrets. He's not going to tell nobody. No other spirits or nothing. You have to wholeheartedly acknowledge your iniquities. Lord, I've been having too much sex and now my penis ain't working. That's probably going to be embarrassing to say to a girl, because she going to be like, see, girls think different than women. His penis ain't working. Girl, I'm finna go get another. And that's exactly what they do. Consult that with the Lord. Let him know what you're experiencing in your body so he can help you. They said this problem is common with older men. Premature ejaculation is even common with older men. Young men, I encourage you to take a break. It is nothing wrong being celibate. It is nothing wrong with a woman rejecting us, and I ain't saying us like that. I'm sorry. Well, it's nothing wrong with it. Hear this in third party, y'all. But there's nothing wrong with a woman rejecting a man. There's nothing wrong with the woman getting rejected. It saves you from what could have destroyed you. So I feel like men get rejected a little bit more than women, because it's easier for a woman to just flaunt her goods, like you know, because women be knowing what men like. See, women know how to stimulate the man's mind before they even have sex with him. This is why women be like, you gonna pay my bills? Like, or she give you that femininity, and they're using it to some women use their power to actually destroy men. So that woman that you're thinking like, oh my God, she's so bad, she's actually stimulating your mind to take care of her. Man, you just have to be careful with the women that you desire. Let the Lord know the desires of your heart, and he will actually correct that and say, this ain't really, you don't really want her, bro. Like, that ain't really what you want. Flawless men, it's a hard conversation, but I pray that y'all have stuck to the end of this video, and forgive me for my pauses, my breaks, but because I know it's a very sensitive topic. I've talked to my male friends. I've dated guys that was experiencing things like that, and it's embarrassing. So after you watch this video, just know that I love you, God loves you, and there's not nothing that cannot be corrected. The first thing you have to do is be confident with what the Lord gave. It don't matter what size it is. Like, and it's easier said than experienced, because you'll probably be like, bro, that ain't what. But we just have to be more confident in ourselves. Y'all know how sometimes, I don't know if you experienced that, but I have, you'll be asking somebody like, so was it fire? You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to be more confident and just say, I know I was amazing. But we wouldn't have to be worrying about these different things if we loved ourselves, and if we waited and prepared ourselves for somebody that was on our same level. It's not okay to be in a sexual space and both people are not satisfied. It's not okay, because it's not the purpose of getting to that level. It's easier said than done, the way to marriage, but it has to be learned, and men have to take a break. So let's go over, and if the video cuts, we'll do a part 2, but we are ending up here. let's go over some simple herbs and dietary things to add into your diet. Like, don't be like, oh my God, bro, don't nobody eat that green stuff. Just take it into consideration. I just want you to take the information to consideration here. And if it touched your soul, then you're going to go and research that. If it was something like, bro, don't nobody want to hear that, then, you know, but it's all right. So I didn't get my vitamin E. Well, let me go back in the book.